Okay, so for years before CLT, many learners built reasonable grammar and vocabulary, but still could not take part in just kind of basic conversational communication. They often knew about the language, but using it in real interaction was kind of difficult. So, communicative language teaching asked a new question, and this question is so simple and so basic, but still a question that we grapple with in TESOL today, and that is, what if the main purpose of learning a language is actually about communicating with people? Hi, and welcome back to TESOL with Mickey and Ida, our new channel about all things TESOL. I'm Mickey, and in this episode, I'm going to tell you the key things that you need to know about CLT, also known as Communicative Language Teaching. Let's start by thinking about what is CLT. CLT emerged in the 1970s as a major shift in language education. Instead of treating language as a list of forms that needed to be mastered, something, by the way, which is so difficult, it was about thinking of language as a tool for communication. The aim of it is to help learners interact, share meaning, and carry out real tasks in the target language. The core concept behind CLT is communicative competence. This includes choosing appropriate language for the social context that the user of the language is in, understanding and producing a range of texts and interactions, keeping communication going even when you don't know every word, which again is like a really natural use of language, and using language to achieve real purposes such as explaining, persuading, or requesting. So how does CLT work in the classroom? So there are three key principles. Principle number one is the communication principle, and states that real communication promotes learning. Principle number two is the task principle. This is about using language to complete meaningful tasks, and this will support learning. Number three is the meaningfulness principle. This principle says that using language that matters to learners helps them learn more effectively. So what might CLT look like in the classroom? It could look like an information gap activity where partners need different details from each other. It could be discussions where opinion sharing and role plays take place. It could be problem-solving tasks that require negotiation, or it could be space for errors as part of communication. And we all make errors when we are speaking, and there is nothing wrong with that if the communication is successful. CLT did mean a change in roles in terms of the teacher and the student. So, for instance, the teacher in a CLT classroom should act as a facilitator or a guide, supporting the process of learning rather than standing at the front and delivering information. Learners also need to change their role, so rather than being passive receivers of language or knowledge, they should take an active role. So this means that they should collaborate, they should negotiate meaning, and make decisions about how to complete tasks. There are generally two versions of CLT. One of them is weak CLT. So for weak CLT, learning is about learning to use the language. So you study forms and you practice using them. There's also the strong version, and this is using the language to learn it. So you acquire language through communication itself. What about materials and activities in the CLT classroom? These draw on a wide range of real-world materials. So these include newspaper articles, signs, maps, recordings, online resources, games. This could be pair work tasks, but all of it should involve authentic interaction. Of course, CLT has its challenges, so creating these authentic reasons to communicate, especially in a classroom where the students have a shared L1, can be difficult. Also, not all teachers are trained to facilitate communicative approaches rather than delivering traditional instruction from the front of the classroom. Actually, it can be a really big step, especially for new teachers who might feel more comfortable trying to deliver a class from the front rather than letting students take control of the classroom. Another point is that CLT is developed out of Western context, so it sometimes needs adaptation or a bit of thought for different educational traditions. CLT was a massive paradigm shift in the TESOL movement, and a lot of things since then have really been about communication. So by the end of the 21st century, CLT became part of the accepted core of language teaching. It shaped approaches which would come afterwards, such as task-based language teaching or TBLT, and also content-based instruction, two things that we can talk about in future episodes. So it also aligns with broader ideas about how language develops through social interaction. And we've got lots of content on Vygotsky and social cultural theory if you want to go and check that out. The key idea, though, is simple. We learn languages by using them. We don't have to have error-free conversations and interactions because that's not actually authentic. People make mistakes all the time and it doesn't matter as long as the communication is successful. So CLT aims to make the classroom a place where communication matters and where language becomes something learners use to understand and be understood. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Please give it a like. Please subscribe to our new channel, which we're trying to build. And please give us a comment down below because that would help us so much. Look out for new content, which comes weekly. Thanks for watching and see you next time.